Okay, picture this. A young child, really young, facing a truly devastating illness, something doctors say is incurable. But instead of just despair, this child somehow becomes this source of incredible compassion, real inner strength. It's quite an image. And that's where we're going today. We're doing a deep dive into a very unique, very personal case study. It comes from Thai spiritual teachings shared by one of our listeners. And it's not just a story, it's an exploration of some really profound stuff dealing with terminal illness, the whole idea of karma, and even what might happen after this life.
Exactly. And our mission here really is to pull out the key insights from this narrative. We'll be looking closely at how spiritual practice, personal change, and this fascinating concept of the afterlife all weave together in this tradition. We're hoping to find those aha moments about, well, destiny and maybe the hidden power of our intentions.
Absolutely. We'll look at this child's amazing resilience, the really tangled threads of karma within the family, and some pretty captivating ideas about spiritual realms. It's all seen through this one personal account.
Oh, okay. Let's get into it. So the story really starts with this young boy, Nong Por. He's just 6 years old when his family's world just shatters. He gets diagnosed with severe brain cancer, terrible headaches, sometimes seeing double, vomiting frequently. You can only imagine the parents' despair.
Just awful. But then, right in the middle of all that pain, something shifts. A relative introduces the family to meditation, specifically through a guided CD by a well-respected senior monk, Nong Por.
Luang Por Dhammajayo, right? From Wat Phra Dhammakaya.
That's the one, yes. His teachings are central here, and the practice, initially at least, seemed to bring the father some real peace, which he desperately needed.
And what happened with Nong Por himself is just remarkable. Before he started going to the temple regularly, he was apparently quite shy, tended to sulk, get angry easily. But after embracing the practices, a total shift. He became brave, much more open, and incredibly compassionate.
There's that story, isn't there, about his mother being frustrated and him saying something like,
Yes. He apparently said, Mom, don't be angry with Nong Por. If you want to be angry with Nong Por, go ahead. But Nong Por won't be angry with you because Luang Por teaches Nong Por to spread loving kindness every day.
wow, just wow. At that age, dealing with what he was dealing with.
Exactly. And it apparently hit his mother really hard, actually changed her own behavior.
It really shows you, doesn't it, how powerful consistent spiritual practice can be, even for a child facing something so immense. It fosters this resilience, this kindness that seems to go beyond the circumstances.
It truly does.
Yeah.
And his dedication was unwavering despite the illness. He kept up with chanting, meditating, making merit, showing this inner strength that was just incredible for his age. It became this source of power, not just for him, but for everyone around him.
He was initially scared of death, though, wasn't he? After hearing that chant about how we all die and lose loved ones?
Understandably, yes, it's a confronting idea. But his father explained it really wisely. He said, look, everyone dies, but where you go afterwards. That depends on the good things you've done, the merit you've gathered, and having a clear, calm mind when the time comes.
And that helped him.
Completely.
Yeah.
According to the account, he never mentioned being afraid of death again after that conversation.
Amazing. And he really threw himself into the positive side of it, the merit making.
Oh, absolutely. He loved making offerings, releasing fish, a common merit-making practice, and really focused on visualizing the Buddha image internally. That's a core practice in this tradition, purifying the mind.
He even used to laugh looking in the mirror, didn't he? Saying he saw himself as a Buddha image.
Yeah, a Buddha image with a pointy head, apparently.
Yeah.
It's sweet, but also shows how deeply he connected with that visualization.
And his commitment was serious. He actually preferred going on spiritual retreats. They mentioned Swan Manawat specifically over going on like overseas holidays.
He called meditation the greatest happiness. And he wasn't just meditating, he was eager to help out at the temple, always asking, is there more work?
I like in that spirit of service, finding joy in giving.
And the scale of his merit-making was quite something.
It really was. And he didn't keep it to himself. He'd bring relatives along, even skeptical ones, to join in. The sources list some specifics contributing to making 55 Buddha images for monks, supporting a big meditation building project, funding 300,000 smaller Buddha images, a dining hall, these glass pillars first one, then hundreds, even helping 266 temples down in southern Thailand.
That's a lot for a young boy.
It underlines that idea of the cumulative power of continuous good deeds, actively shaping one's path, even from a young age.
And through his final 2 years while going through treatment, he kept all this up.
Yes, incredible resilience. Meditating even when the headaches were severe, never showing weakness, outwardly, according to the story. Just this quiet strength.
Then in the final stages, his condition worsened significantly, losing hearing, speech, sight. It sounds heartbreaking. But his mother found this way to connect, gently stroking his stomach as a reminder to keep visualizing the Buddha image. A silent, loving prompt.
And he perceived it, not literally hearing, but
With his heart, is how it's described. He knew they were reminding him of his merit, of the Buddha image. He felt sort of half asleep, half awake, not trapped or suffering, just weak. And he passed peacefully, supported by his parents' wholesome states.
what does wholesome states mean exactly in this context?
It means their minds were focused on good things, on loving kindness for him, on the merit they were dedicating to him. It created this positive, supportive, spiritual atmosphere around him at the very end, like a spiritual anchor.
Okay, so after he passed, there's this interesting detail about a psychic, right? Someone the grandfather had brought in earlier.
Yes, that's right. The grandfather, trying everything he could, had invited this psychic, or maybe an energy healer, to see Nong Por.
And on the day of the funeral, this psychic claimed to see something.
Yeah, claimed to see pekoe flowers, a specific type of fragrant Thai flower all around Nong Por's body, and lots of celestial beings nearby.
So what's the interpretation of that within these teachings? Was it real?
Well, the understanding is that the psychic did genuinely connect with something in the spiritual realm. They perceived something. But the specifics, the pekoe flowers, certain types of beings that's seen as more of a comforting exaggeration.
Like an earthly way to describe something otherworldly.
Exactly. A translation meant to soothe the grieving family. Because in the actual celestial realms described, the flowers are supposed to be unbelievably beautiful, far beyond earthly pekoe, and Nong Por wouldn't just have a few attendants, but millions. It's a fascinating glimpse into how spiritual perception might get filtered through our human understanding.
But the core story doesn't end there. For Nong Por, passing wasn't the end. This is where it moves into the celestial realms.
Right. According to the account, he essentially slept and woke up. Not in a cemetery, but in a stunning golden mansion, a woman thong located in Dusitburi.
And Dusitburi.
It's a specific, high-level celestial realm, a place associated with beings who have accumulated a lot of merit, often those who are developing the perfections needed to potentially become Buddhas in the future. A very spiritually significant place.
And he wasn't a child anymore.
Instantly transformed. From the sick child to a handsome, young adult celestial being, a thefabut, and apparently filled with joy, just admiring his new, incredible surroundings.
What's the karmic reason for such a quick, glorious change?
It's attributed to two things mainly. The intense, continuous merit-making he did with the spiritual community in those last few years, plus merit built up over many previous lives.
Yeah.
The teaching even suggests he was originally from Dusitburi. So in a way, it was a homecoming.
Now, you mentioned there are different ways this transition can happen. Not everyone just wakes up in a mansion.
Correct. The sources make a distinction. There's Nong Por's experience waking up in a celestial mansion. Then there's another scenario, being formally received by celestial chariots, the Efrat.
And being met by chariots is better.
It signifies even greater accumulated merit. It's considered a more glorious return, one that garners more admiration from the other celestial beings already there. Nong Por's merit, described as childish merit, combined with merit dedicated by relatives, while very significant, led to the waking up version.
So the afterlife isn't uniform. It's layered based on your actions.
Precisely. It's a whole spectrum of realms and conditions, all tied very specifically to your karma, your intentions. Every little act counts towards that balance.
And does Nong Por have anything to say from Dusitburi?
Yes, there's a message relayed. As this celestial being, he expresses a wish to visit someone called the Great Seminateva, but another high-ranking celestial being, and he sends profound thanks back to his parents, his uncle, and aunt. He's grateful they gave him the chance to make all that merit, which allowed him to return home to Dusitburi.
What about his future karma? Is he safe now in heaven?
Well, his current merit ensures a very, very long and happy existence there. But there's a caution. Don't get complacent. The teaching warns that old karma can still pierce through, even in celestial realms. Bad karma from deep in the past might still ripen.
So the family should keep dedicating merit to him.
Yes, that's encouraged. And it's noted that this isn't necessarily his final life. More merit-making and meditation within Dusitburi can help further cleanse the Dharma element.
Cleanse the Dharma element. What does that mean?
It's about purifying your core spiritual essence, refining the mind, moving towards greater clarity, and eventually, potentially, liberation from the whole cycle of birth and death, reducing the impact of any remaining heavy karma.
Nong Por's story is just incredible, but the family's experiences, especially the father's, also offer some really deep lessons about karma, don't they?
They really do. The father's own struggle with illness runs parallel and reveals another complex layer. He got diagnosed with cancer twice. First, a lump under his armpit, which doctors initially missed because he seemed healthy.
He was an athlete, right, but also had some unhealthy habits.
Exactly. Fit in some ways, but also enjoyed partying, drinking light, smoking. That first cancer diagnosis was actually the thing that made him stop all that. A painful wake-up call, you could say.
And later he got another lump in his thigh.
Yes. But perhaps the most harrowing experience for him was during his final chemo round. He was already very weak, and then he got chickenpox isukisai.
Oh, wow. On top of everything else.
But it wasn't normal chickenpox.
Mhm.
The description is that it manifested internally, causing just immense, agonizing suffering. It almost killed him. It hit inside, causing this terrible torment.
Is there a specific karmic explanation given for that and the cancers?
Yes, and it's quite specific. The cancers are linked back to a past life where he was supposedly a high-ranking official. In that role, he apparently ordered executions, some guilty, some innocent, and also took bribes.
Okay, so abuse of power leading to physical illness later on.
That's the connection made.
Mhm.
And the internal chickenpox, that unique suffering, that's tied to a specific action. Ordering his subordinates to write anonymous, slanderous letters bat sante about his colleagues, causing them hidden distress, internal turmoil.
So the karma mirrors the action. Hidden attacks causing hidden illness.
Exactly. It's presented as a very direct, specific consequence, showing how precisely karma is thought to operate, reflecting the nature of the original act, even lifetimes later.
But his cancer and Nong Por's weren't shared karma, right? Not like one caused the other.
No, the explanation is that they had similar karma. Similar types of past negative actions brought them together in this life to face these related challenges. It wasn't a direct karmic debt between them for the cancers themselves.
And the advice for the father.
Same principle, really. Cultivate the full package of merit giving, keeping precepts, meditating, and dedicate it sincerely to counteract these past negative karmas.
Let's shift to the grandfather now, Nong Por's mother's father. His story involves a big change in personality.
Yes, the father-in-law. He sounds like quite the character. Started with basically nothing, an ice shop, and built up a successful car dealership. A real self-made man. And initially, known for being generous, well-loved by his staff, good leader qualities.
But then things changed drastically.
Significantly, after his first wife died, he remarried a woman who was 48 and had never married before. And after that, his generosity just dried up. He became extremely miserly, lost his good employees, and his later years were apparently quite difficult. Lots of conflict with his own children, mostly about money, a real downturn.
What's the karmic backstory there? Why the change?
Okay, so the teaching suggests he and this new wife were actually a couple in a past life too. But back then, she was a minor wife. She apparently made a really strong wish, a fervent prayer, not to be a minor wife again. That wish, combined with leftover merit between them, brought them together in this life after his first wife passed away.
And her influence made him miserly, or was it his own karma?
It's framed more as his own lack of specific leadership qualities, the Sankhyahathu 4, which include generosity, kind speech, helpfulness, and consistency, combined with being influenced by miserly tendencies, possibly linked to that past connection or her nature now. It's complex.
And the solution suggested for the family conflict.
For the father-in-law, the advice was to be like the sun, radiate generosity, that golden light. And for the children, the advice was to proactively show kindness and goodwill towards him and his wife to try and mend the relationship from their side, using present actions to soothe past issues.
Okay, one more family connection. Nong Por's uncle and aunt, his mother's brother and sister-in-law. They were very supportive, weren't they?
Extremely. Treated Nong Por like their own son, really helped facilitate all his merit-making activities. Their deep bond is explained beautifully, actually. They are described as merit partners and perfection partners, kubun ku barami.
What does that mean exactly?
It means they've been connected for many, many lifetimes, specifically helping each other grow spiritually. They support each other in doing good deeds, in cultivating virtues or perfections. They share similar faith, similar views, because they've been building this positive connection together across different lives, sometimes as siblings, parents, spouses, friends. It explains that deep, instant affinity and support.
Wow. So we've really covered a lot here. An incredible journey, seeing this young boy's transformation, digging into these intricate karmic threads in the family, and even getting a glimpse of these celestial realms. It's quite a story.
It really is. And when you step back, Nong Por's amazing spirit, his father's tough journey towards change, how all their lives were interconnected, it just powerfully highlights how much our intentions, our actions seem to matter in this view, how they ripple outwards, maybe even across lifetimes and into other dimensions of existence.
It definitely challenges you, doesn't it? To think about how even small acts of kindness, the choices we make every day in our relationships, how we cultivate our own inner state,
Yeah.
how that might have consequences far beyond what we normally imagine, shaking not just who we are right now, but maybe where we're ultimately headed.
Exactly. And perhaps the crucial takeaway here is the sheer power attributed to consistent intention and dedicated spiritual effort. It raises a really important question for all of us, doesn't it? What insights will you, listening now, take away from this exploration of karma and destiny? And how might those insights maybe shape your own understanding of your life's purpose and your connection to everything else?